My name is Irmeli Maunonen-Eskelinen from JAMK, University of Applied Sciences.
And my name is Telle Hailekari from Häme University of Applied Sciences.
In this video, we discuss the basic principles of developing curricula. And let's move to look at the factors that influence curriculum development.
Yes, there are several factors that influence the curriculum development, and we will discuss a few central things here. Let's start with the societal issues. So the curriculum always needs to respond to the changes in the society. So each society has different visions and aims and goals about the future, as well as several different societal trends such as population structure and immigration issues also influence and need to be considered. Another point are the changing competence requirements. So, for example, the world of work is constantly evolving, and the curricular development has to meet the needs from the world of work. So, for example, there are different needs regarding the technological skills, sustainable development skills, or environmental issues, just to mention a few. So what about some international educational aspects?
Yes, I think when developing curriculum, some international aspects need to be considered. For example, European educational policy issues, also international quality frameworks. Also, we can learn from other countries, and we can use comparative research findings on curriculum development. So these at least come into my mind first, but then of course the global development directions and similarity of curricula can be also seen as a way of enhancing global equality and human rights approach. And one thing in curriculum development is very central. We have to take into account and consider the needs of the students. So new generations have new competencies and values, and we have to find out what do the new generation value and what kind of education services do they need. Let's continue by looking at some core issues in curriculum development.
Yes, of course the first point is that the curricula need to be relevant for the world of work. So we need to consider what sort of professionals does the world of work need, and therefore there needs to be a continuous dialogue between the world of work and education, and also there needs to be flexibility in the curricula to meet these needs of the working life. Another core issue is the competence-based approach. Competence-based approach is a research-based framework for curriculum development, and it's based on recent research on learning and teaching. So the central idea in this approach is in identifying the competencies that the graduates should achieve. And so in this approach, the focus is more on wider competencies instead of narrow skills.
Yes, and that leads us to think of a constructive alignment in curriculum. Constructive alignment is basically about the quality and enhancing and improving teaching and learning. It means ensuring that different parts of the curriculum, for example courses, contribute to the achievement of the overall objective, overall competencies of the degree program.
So let's next discuss a little bit about the teacher education curriculum reform in Kazakhstan that we were both involved with. In this curriculum reform, altogether 30 teacher education curricula were developed from different fields. And there were 4 different types of curricula involved. There were Major of them were bachelor's degrees, then there were master's degrees, consecutive program, as well as a postgraduate diploma. And this consecutive program refers to a type of sideway path to get a teacher qualification. So this is an educational model which is available to individuals who have already completed a previous degree. An example of a postgraduate diploma in this curriculum reform is a study and career guidance counselor degree program, which is also available for individuals with a previous degree.
Yes, and generally speaking, there are different types of structures of curricula, and in this case, concerning bachelor's curricula, the structures are following. Firstly, there is compulsory component, a pedagogical component, and subject-specific component. And in addition to those, cross-cutting themes are described in the curriculum, and cross-cutting themes are implemented in all different types of curricula that we have developed. And the themes are such as student-centeredness, constructive alignment, inclusion, digitalization, research-based teacher education.
Yes, and as a final point, we will discuss a little bit about what needs to be taken into account in the implementation of the curricula. And this is a very important part of the curricula development. So first of all, there needs to be some sort of orientation to the curriculum reform and informing different parties about what changes have been taking place. So there needs to be different types of trainings and informing through various channels. There also needs to be continuous support for the implementation. And this can take different forms, for example, websites, workshops, support clinics or podcasts, videos or different sort of written materials. So there needs to be timely support for the teachers in parallel with the implementation process.
And of course, during the implementation, we need information about implementation issues. Therefore, monitoring the implementation is very, very important part of the process. And we collect information from the students, teachers, about the implementation and perhaps other stakeholders as well. And that gives us a basis for evidence-based development of the curriculum. In sum, continuous development is the basic idea, and curriculum development is a continuous and living process. Often the bigger changes take place after a few years cycle.
So we have discussed some core issues regarding the curriculum development. So we could conclude this by saying that curriculum development is a continuous, collaborative, and a co-creative process. So thank you for listening.
Thank you.